everybody to Cup with GUP PGA Movers and Shakers for the Tokyo Olympics. GUP here on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. We are about 27 hours away from lock tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon. Make sure you got note to yourself so you don't forget if you got contests reserved. Hopefully you got dummy lineups in there, worst case, but it is a Wednesday afternoon lock tomorrow. So contests are actually surprisingly filling at a pretty good rate. I do think lack of NBA is gone. MLB is always there, but that's a different kind of market, I think. Some Olympic stuff is getting some decent contests in play, but I think by large and far, the PGA this week is huge, and so I think a lot of people took attention. There's not much going on. We're not really into football season yet, and actually, I'm happy, right? So at first, it was kind of like, well, I think we may have some overlay, could be some advantage there, yada yada. But I mean, I want PGA to be ideally, I would love for PGA to be, I don't know, number 2 sport for DraftKings for our business, right? NFL's probably will never be unseated. I think college football is a good niche sport for us, and it'll continue to grow this year as you have more stability and less COVID issues, potentially, hopefully. And I would love to see PGA be it because it's almost weekly now. I mean, out of the 52 weeks a year, maybe 6 to 8 weeks we kind of don't have anything. Like this week we thought it was going to be off. Obviously it's not. We got match play, down in Austin. They've got a good format for it now. They'll have at least some showdown stuff, I assume, for Ryder Cup and things like that. So really not a lot of break in PGA, and these contests are becoming stronger and stronger as they go on. Now I get it, NBA and MLB have some big contests, but they're not all year long like this is. UFC is becoming almost year long in the same way. Almost every week you got a pretty good fight card, but it's only one day. Golf, you can do the main slate plus showdown and all that. So it's all exciting growth. It is their number one percentage growth sport year over year the last 2, if not 3 years. So that's all positive. In NFL, I think we're going to be, just have a tremendous year. With the Cup with GUP kind of podcast, the idea is starting next week, we will have a podcast out virtually every day unless something comes up on the GUP's Corner Podcast Network, whether it be Smash Factor, Coin Flip, Read Option with Bobby on the college football. My Cup with GUP ideally would be a Monday through Friday deal, 15, 30 minutes, almost every morning, mid-morning, depending on the schedule, with just quick hitting topics, what's going on. So today, for instance, this is really going to be most about, and I'm not going to get into like political stuff. I'm not going to get into like, Biles dropping out of the limp like that. It's still going to be relative to betting and daily fantasy. So it's not going to be like me coming on here and just giving my opinion on stuff, because that's not the space that I'm in or where I want to be at. There are things that will come up that have impact. Aaron Rodgers, for instance. All right, he's reported. How does that impact? What do we think? That'd be a thing, like if I was doing that today, that we would talk about. OU Texas officially, forego their media rights starting in 2025. I personally think, and have some emphasized, that I don't think it'll go worse than, I think they will start the season of 2023, worst case 2024. And what does that mean to the landscape of college football? And that's one side, but potential impacts of it, short term, long term, which could impact betting, daily fantasy, stuff like that to a smaller degree. But with football coming around, it makes it a lot easier to, hey, Monday morning when we get, here's our opening odds, college football, NFL, golf, stuff like that, quick hitting stuff. Same format as now. It's just going to be almost every day, because I enjoy it. It's kind of a free form type deal. I've had good responses from it. People love the new intro, things like that. To get it kicked off, I'm going to we released our top 200 NFL PPR ranks. Ryan did it, I believe, yesterday morning on the site. I'm going to give you our top 10 running back. You leave me where, like, one person that's overranked and one person that's not in there in the comments of this video on YouTube. Like, subscribe, help us out there. And I'll pick a winner for, I'm going to probably do um, maybe one more show this week. We'll see. If not, I will announce the winner next week when we go live. We'll go again. This was supposed to be my week off. Not a big deal. I'm enjoying it. I really love the deep dive. I put out an article last night that I put a lot of hours into that was well received by the premium members. So that's awesome. I am working on final tweaks and stuff right now to get out something tonight. What I think I'll do is put out my final package tonight, late, probably after the 4-game NBA slate lock, because I'm going to play some of that and I want to be able to focus. So I'll put it out a little later, fine tune ownership, stuff like that. And then what I'll do is we'll do a premium member only cup with GUP in the morning, basically. So our E9 will go, let's grab some coffee and you guys fire up the live chat questions and let's talk about anything and everything you want as it relates to this week's strategy and contest building for lineup building for the Tokyo Olympics. 60-man field, 4-day, no cut. And as long as you guys are in, you premium members, and all you guys listen to this, so I'm talking to you, I'll stay as long as we got. I have nothing to do tomorrow morning. Got some family stuff going on, but I'll be building and tweaking and all that as well. So what I want to do is put that package out tonight, let you guys digest it, see my potential ownership, all that kind of stuff. If there's any major tweaks, I'll let you know in the morning. Otherwise, we'll go live in the morning for a premium member only chat, and let's have some fun on Olympic Wednesday. So top 10 running backs for Ryan and I, and then we did a aggregate, or he did all the work. I just put my ranks together. Again, we did 200, top 200 players, quarterback, running back. I think we did 24 quarterbacks, 36 running backs, 96 wide receivers, 24 tight ends, and 20 defenses, maybe 24. Don't quote me on that. We both ranked them. We did an aggregate rank. It's a pretty cool little cheat sheet if you're doing your home league, all that kind of stuff. That's what it basically was for. Best ball even, it'll help. We will continually update it as we have injuries, stuff like that come up. Top 10 running backs. Number 1, McCaffrey. Both of us had him number 1. Number 2, Cook. Both of us had him number 2. I don't think there's any argument there. Number 3, Henry. Same on both. Number 4, Zeke. Same on both. Number 5 was Kamara. He had Kamara 5. I had him 6. Number 6 was Barkley. He had him 8. I had him 5. Number 7 was Eckler. He had him 6. I had him 8. Tie for 7, I guess you would say. Jonathan Taylor. We both had them 7. So that would be, a tie 7. You get 7 and 8 there. Basically, Eckler and Taylor we had tied. 9th, we both had Chubb, and 10th, we both had Jones. Our bubble boys were Mixon, Gibson, and Najee Harris. So give me some feedback there on those rankings. Let me know. That'll get you into a drawing for worst case. I'll announce the winners on Monday's Smash Factor and Monday morning's Cup with Gup, which will kick off that format as well. I'm looking forward to it, where we talk all sports all the time, every day. As always, Smash 20 gets you 20% off, 7-day free trial, anytime. Go join right now. Use that code. You get 20% off. If you don't like us after 7 days, which I'm telling you right now, you're going to love it, especially when you compare us to anybody else in the market on the pricing for everything we bring. Our Green Machine Optimizer and GC Warrior Room Slack alone pays for the product, simply put. And where it's going to get by the time we get to football, college football stackability, we will have the best college football lineup optimizer in the industry, hands down. I believe that. NFL will be strong. Golf's already there. I think the golf stacking that we already have out there for the premium members is going to be crucial this week. It's something I will talk about with the premium members on the Cup with Gup in the morning, on how you could build some different rules and stacks so you don't wind up with people in your line, and especially for MME, obviously. If you're using a lineup optimizer, most times you do it MME. So I'm looking forward to that. Come give us a tryout. If you don't like it in 7 days, just quit. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. No risk. No harm, no foul. YouTube comment winners for this week. Oh, Phil Listener League. I'll put it in here. We had like maybe 30 spots left, but let's get that filled. YouTube comment winners this week, Michael Carter. You get the $50 GC swag combo credit. If you finish top 3 in the Listener League this week, make sure to reach out to me so you get a $25 GC credit for some swag if you would like to take advantage of that. Updated thoughts on the week for me. Off and on rain each day with that typhoon, tropical storm I talked about yesterday, kind of in the area. Reminder though that they're going off in groups of threes the first 2 days, and there's only 20 groups. It's a very small field, very small window of first off to last off. I think they're going off 11 minutes apart. That's about 3.5 hours off the very first group and the very last group. Whereas, here recently we've had as many as 11 hours apart from first off to last off. So any of that weather really is not going to be dramatic on, especially pre-tourney. There's no wave advantage because they're playing all 4 days, that kind of stuff. You could look at some first round leader stuff for, if you're wanting to wait on that, or maybe you're playing round one showdown. We're going to have time tomorrow, our time, the East Coast time or Central time where I'm at to, that last 2 or 3 hours, if you think you're going to play round one, go ahead and reserve your lineups and then see if there's some weather advantage there where those groups going off in the first hour may have a huge advantage, but it's not going to be massive either way for me this week. I think lineup construction is going to be the key. Talked about it. I think it'll be a big focus tomorrow on the live show as we grab our cup of coffee. I think stacking rules, leaving money on the table, building your lineups in the sense that gives you the highest upside chance to win in this kind of format. And I'm talking about the large MME stuff. Single entry 1 and 3 max, a little bit different strategy there. Is really the difference. I mean, I talked about it yesterday. I still am on that. There's going to be some ownership, leverage in spots, but by and large, because there's just so few people that are viable options, I think how you construct across the board is going to be the biggest key. Projected highest ownership. I just did a fresh run of ownership as I'm getting ready to put out this package. Top 10 in no specific order right now is Answer, Siwoo, Neiman, Morikawa, Connors, Hovland, Mito, Vegas, Casey, and JT. You're going to see some higher ownership. There's only 58. Well, now there's 60 guys. We do have a full 60. I included that in my article yesterday. You're going to see some 6K guys in the 10+ percentage, which you rarely see, but it'll happen because it naturally has to, the way when you start doing the algorithms of the pricing and how the builds have to happen. If you're going to have a 18 to 22% more cow, well, those builds have to go a certain way, and there's only so many guys to go down to. We normally could have 30 something guys in the 7K range. Well, now you don't. So all that ownership on the higher owned guys is going to be concentrated to an extent, which does give us leverage in spots, but is it the right leverage? That's something that we want to talk about, especially when we deep dive in tomorrow morning. Is leverage, but you have to understand your position in the contest that you're playing and how much leverage do you need to get. It's not all about just fading the chalk. We've learned that well this year. I do think this week's a little different because it's not as a focal point across the industry, but there's plenty of people covering it, so I think we can gain some leverage there. Moved up for me, Matsu. I think he's like everybody's all right. The pressure deal. So I think it's a coin flip in the industry on between Matsu, Sung Jae, and Siwoo. How much does the pressure of A, avoiding military, or B, him winning a medal, let alone a gold, in the country of Japan? I tend to think there's not as much as you would think. A, he's not going to have all the fans there, all the days, kind of with that reminder of what's important. B, because he won the Masters and he kind of got that off. I just want to major for my country. I'm not saying it's more important than a medal. I don't know that in that culture. Kenny I know Kenny's Korean, but may have a little bit different opinion there. But it certainly helps that, hey, I won the Masters, which is the biggest, some say the biggest golf tournament of the year. The Olympic gold medal to golf is still so new that at least it may let them play freely. I got the Masters, I've got some rest. I've been over here. I've won on this track. I know it better than probably anybody playing. And he's still not really being talked up a whole lot. I think he's going to come in 15% or less, so that's good. I know because of the price, really, 10.5. Our boy Tambo would say, we don't play Matsu at above 10K, but I think I may take some stabs there. Rory is a guy that I was indifferent on. but his skill level is still there. And if he's there to play, especially if they're being so isolated, maybe getting out there on the course is a break for him. He's like, all right, I get to have some fun, do what I do. At 10-3, it allows for some builds where you can start Rory Hovland, Rory Casey, Rory Lowry, some of those type of builds because he's a lower price down in the 10K range. Reed's the only cheaper. And I think he'll be less on the Matsu, honestly, when it comes down to it. So I don't mind him. I think Ortiz. Ortiz really climbed up my ladder in the deep dive stuff yesterday. Like him a lot. I like his price, 7,900. He's going to be flirting with that 10-12% range, and definitely can score. And him not having to worry about a cut is a positive, in my opinion. So Ortiz has kind of moved up for me. There's more, but I can't go too much in. Obviously, we got premium members that pay for the information. I put out a full article last night that went in. I basically broke it down into 4 quadrants of 15 guys based on price and went in depth on all the type of options there. If you want to go check it out for free. Just sign up. You smash 20% off. Don't like us or just want to take advantage of the Olympic stuff, that's fine. You can cancel and you never get charged. I think you will like it and enjoy it and stay, but we're willing to take that risk because we believe enough in what we got going on. Fade and moving down. I'm still not on Morikawa. I'm just highest price will probably be top 5 to 8 own. Could come in higher if people really start clicking, especially in your big GPP stuff or MME stuff. I'm okay being light on him. And if I'm putting 75 to 150 lineups in some of these contests, you're almost going to have some of everybody. There'll be some cuts, obviously, but up top, you're going to have some sprinkles here or there, or build uniquely. Maybe I take 12% Morikawa, but I make sure those lineups are very unique built and can still gain leverage. And that goes about knowing your leverage in the contest I mentioned earlier. If you got 20 lineups where other guys are putting 150, it's a completely different mindset of percentage owned versus the field. Mito, I love him. I mean, this is one of the guys I'm struggling with. I think he's for sure going to be top 3 owned in the field. He's one of the guys that flew over late. The results are there. I mean, 34th at John Deere, 5th at Barbasol, 6th at 3M Open. Now, those 3 courses are, for all intents and purposes, easy. I don't know how easy this course is going to play. I tend to think it's going to challenge the guys a little bit. I still think we're going to be in that 12 to 14 under range for a winner. No clue, though. I mean, all we can do is go by what we're hearing, what we're reading, what we're seeing. I like him a lot, but, man, if he's at 7,200, just going to be the chalk donkey of the week. Maybe it's a spot where I go really light on him or just bite the bullet and fade, which fade the chalk hasn't been necessarily, but it's been more on the higher price guys. Those chalky guys up there have been coming through, but still 7,200. There's enough reasons to say, potential fatigue and not seeing the course and all that kind of stuff matters. And you really have 3 guys there: Vegas, Reed, and Mito. So that's one I'm really going to dive into tonight and figure out how I'm going to handle. But I'm definitely going to be lighter on the field if he's going to be the highest or top 2 or 3 own for sure. Same with Vegas. I think he's going to be up there in that top 5 own type of deal. And for those reasons, in this, you're looking for every slight edge you can get. I mean, and he's coming in good. 11th at John Deere, 2nd at the 3M Open. He moved up the rankings, obviously, with his 3M Open results and stats coming in. But it's still Johnny Vegas. So 7,400. There's 2 guys in the 7K that if you just full faded them, you could. If you full fade Mito and Vegas and leave $200 on the table, you can literally build however you want. You will not have to worry about being duplicated. I promise you that. So, there's some strategy there that I think we'll bounce off each other and listen to your questions. And you guys throw in the live chat questions, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. Kind of the dark horse names that pop for me. I'll give you a few. I went in depth last night in the article, and I will again on my final write-up. But I saw on Hoshiano, the other Japan golfer, as people are referring to, and it wouldn't shock me at all. What if he's the one that medals? 7,300, probably going to be sub 7%, maybe 8-9% at most. He missed a cut at the Open, but He probably knows the course as good as anybody but Matsu, but I don't mind having some of him as an MME flyer. Um, Carl Yuan, which his name changes and depending on where you look. I think some spots are using Carl, some are using his real name, which I'm not even going to try to say it. But he's $6,700. Last name is Yuan. If you're looking for him, I talked about him a little bit the other day. He's been on fire on the Corn Ferry Tour, so you go look at his Corn Ferry results. Been playing really well, and $6,700 right now. He looks to be, one of those very sub 5% potential owners. So I kind of like him. A guy I wrote up last night, Kaylee Samuja, I think is how you say it, $6,400. Deep diving into him, I really liked him. Go check out the article if you hadn't yet. And then Jazzy J, I'm gonna go there, $7,000. I don't think he's not being talked about as much as I thought he would. And maybe it's the 7,000 price mark where people are like, oh, I'll just go elsewhere. Like he's played, he made the cut at the Open, finished 46. He's played some events over in the U.S. I don't mind having some of him, especially if he's not going to be really chalky there at 7K. I feel like if he was 6,700 versus that, he would have more attention, kind of like Norlander. Norlander, he's one I'm struggling with as well because I really like him, but he's the most talked up name in that range. But for 300, $200 more, and maybe I get a fourth of the ownership for some Jazzy J, I'll take that. And the leverage play of the week, we don't have any one and done or anything like that, is I think Fleetwood. I think the entire AK range, just kind of doing simulations and algorithms, is going to be under owned compared to the others just because so many people are wanting to jam 9 and 10Ks. In most cases, want to get at least two, that it naturally drops you down to getting to 3 7Ks or 2 7 a 6 and then see what's left type of deal. So that a lot of those 8K range guys are not really showing up in that top 10 ownership. I think Connors is probably going to be one of the more chalky ones. Cam Smith, a little bit, not crazy. And then Guido, which I already talked about. I kind of like Higo over him Sunday on the pod. But I think those guys, that's about it. I think everybody else, you're going to just be able to use leverage spots in that 8K. But I just like what I see out of Fleetwood so far. I think he'll be, sub 12%, somewhere like that. 8,600 is the reason why. You just can't, if you're wanting to get some of these quote unquote bigger names, better win equity type in your lineups, you're not dropping down to Fleetwood. You're dropping down the low 8s or into the 7s. So, like what I saw at the Open, finished 33. He seems fired up on everything he's doing social media wise. That's all anecdotal, but some of the stuff when you get into a 60-man no-cut field on a course you've never physically seen, these guys haven't seen. Half these guys have played maybe one round on it. Some are going to literally tee it up for the first time, and that's the first time they're seeing it. So much unknown that you got to, at some point, bring in a little bit of gut, a little bit of, I like this small thing that may set me apart type of deal. Appreciate everything. I hope you guys like these little pods. I think we'll enjoy the football season together a lot. Give me your feedback, what you guys want to hear, what you'd like to see. If I'm doing a deal every morning, what kind of things would you like me to hit on between golf, college football, NFL, anything that affects DFS or betting in general. I appreciate it. And you premium members, I will have some stuff out tonight, and I will see you tomorrow morning for a private Cup with GUP as we break down all our contests and strategy for the Tokyo Olympics men's golf DFS slate. You guys have a blessed day. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.